to In Gratitude, where we at the Inn, the Interfaith Nutrition Network, spotlight some of our wonderful supporters and the great things that they're doing. My name is Dana Lopez. I'm the Director of Marketing and Communications at the Inn, and I'm so excited. This is episode 11 of In Gratitude. And every time we do this, I just get so happy because there's nothing better than highlighting wonderful people doing wonderful things. So today is really great. Right now, we are at close to the end of August, and summer is just about over. School is starting again, which for the kids is a bummer, for the parents is a good thing. But I wanted to bring in a really wonderful group of people that are going to talk about how they made this summer extra special for some children in our shelters. So I'm really excited to welcome my guests for today. We've got Brett Dunn, who is of Lucas Bowles, and also Life's Angels, the organization that we're talking about today. How you doing, Brett?
Hi, Dana. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. And then we have Bradley Siegel of Siegel Law Firm, who's a supporter of the Inn for a long time, and also representing Life's Angels today. Brad, how you doing?
Hello, Dana. Great to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. And last but certainly not least, we have Corinne Morris, who is our Director of Emergency Housing at the Inn and my colleague. I'm so happy to have you, Corinne. And today, Corinne's going to be representing some of the families in the shelters today that we worked with and that Life's Angels helped. How are you, Corinne?
I'm doing well, thank you, Dana. How are you? Good?
I'm good. So I just want to get started. The organization that we're spotlighting today is called Life's Angels. So Brad, why don't you tell us a little bit about Life's Angels, how it came about, and what do you do?
Sure. First of all, the Inn is such a wonderful organization, and we're happy to be part of this this podcast. Well, Life's Angels, we started this it was 4 or 5 years ago. It's a group of poker players having a friendly game, and we would play monthly. And there were some other charity events out there, and it was unclear what those charities who they were supporting. So we came up with this idea to dedicate one game out of our 12 monthly games to helping people in need. And we wanted to be as pure as possible. We didn't have any particular people in need at the time. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but the idea was to find random people that were dealt a tough hand in life. And as such, we would follow through and raise money. And there were maybe 40 or 50 people that were playing in the games at the time. So we said, let's do this for charity. And that's how we started.
That's great. That's great. And Brett, you're part of this group too. So how did this go down? You found the Inn, you decided that you wanted to do something really special. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I think, Dana, as we've shared with you prior, we started with a mission to help those that had been dealt a tough hand in life. That's kind of our tagline for Life's Angels. And we were finding families and individuals in need that had fallen on tough times where they could use some financial help to help them dig out of a hole from a family accident or a death in the family or an illness that had beset the family. And while that was nice and that was great, about 2 years ago, we were approached to work with some families that had either families in need or had families, children with special needs. And we started sending kids to camp. And that really, the difference that made and the way that made us feel as an organization, it just felt good for us, and it felt like the right direction for the organization to go. And we're really proud of our partnership with the Inn. We started a couple of years ago working with one of the family shelters on Long Island. A bunch of us got together and cooked dinner, brought dinner over, made a donation to the Inn as well. And then, as you alluded to at the beginning of the podcast, this summer, we really stepped up our involvement and support with the Inn and sending quite a few kids that are living at the Inn to summer camp. And looking at some of the pictures and seeing the smiles on those kids' faces, and getting them sneakers and new clothes for the summer to go to summer camp, and really for them to experience a summer like every other kid can. It really was a special opportunity for us, and we're grateful to you for bringing, and Corinne for bringing the opportunity to us. And it's something that we certainly want to expand upon in future years, because it really was a great program, I think, for all involved.
That's amazing. So Corinne, I know that as far as I know, in the history of the Inn, and by the way, just so everybody's aware, we're coming up on 40 years of the Inn in 2023, which is incredible. You know,
Incredible.
And
We got to send 40 kids to camp next year then.
oh my goodness, let's do
That would be
40,
great.
yeah, 40 for 40. You know, ESPN's
40
got
for
30
40.
for 30. The Inn's going to have 40 for 40.
I
Yeah,
love
let's
it.
do
I love
that.
it. Corinne, that's a great, we're going to have another meeting after this so we can discuss that. But Corinne, I think as far as I know, and you can confirm this, we haven't had sponsorships to send the children that live in the shelter with their families to summer camp up until this point,
No,
right?
we've never had that before.
So
actually,
how
no.
when Life's Angels approached us and said, this is what we want to do, what was your process?
Okay, so yeah, I got an email from Cynthia saying that they wanted, there's an organization that wanted to send a couple of kids to summer camp. And I was like, oh, that's such a great idea. And then she said, just research camps that they would be interested in and then get back to her. So that's how it came about, like just saying we had someone that wanted to send the kids to summer camp. So we kind of looked into different camps and we settled on Hofstra's summer camp because they had so many different activities, so many, they had from, you know, pre-K to all the way to high school age activities. And that's what the shelter has. We have children from babies all the way up to 18. So we settled on that. We talked to the parents and they were in agreement that they would like that camp. So that's how it came about. In terms of picking the children, it was very odd because most of the families we spoke with were like, no, we don't want to go to camp. We're just going to send the children to daycare, I guess, because that's what they're just used to going to daycare. So it came down to the final 3 children who just, the families were like, okay, we will do that. We wanted to do that. So that's how it came with picking the 3 children that went. So it was 2 siblings and 1 additional child.
We had a really successful fundraising campaign that put us in position, Life's Angels, to do this through a wonderful board, terrific sponsors and donors, amazing. That's what makes it all happen. So, and Brett and Jordan have been big proponents of camp like that. Brett got us kicked off a few years ago in this direction. And this past holiday season, we help provide holiday toys and gifts to children at a shelter in Queens. This year, the idea was, you know, when we had one of our meetings, we said, how about those kids, sending them to camps? And we looked into it further with a lot of help from Life's Angels kids, Ruth and Valerie, who were communicating with the Inn and helped put this all together. But we found that there was a similar response that we sent at this particular shelter. I think it ended up being 10 or so kids, and there were some that were reluctant to do it. However, after the bus, we arranged for a bus to pick the kids up, take them to the camps. After the kids would come back, and the other families saw what was happening, it led to a greater participation. And
there was, as Brad is saying, there was quite a snowball effect that first couple of days, because there was hesitation because it was something new for the parents and they're used to daycare and a more traditional daycare system. And so summer camp is probably a little foreign because they never had the opportunity to experience that. And what Brad is saying is once these kids came home the first couple of days, all of a sudden we had 5 or 6 other parents say, hey, is it too late for us to join? Can we take advantage of this? And we went from 3 or 4 kids to about 15 kids by the end of the first week, just from that word of mouth.
Yeah, I think that all of us, as most of us are parents, or we're all parents who can understand, not only is it something that you just, it's just the unknown. So you never really know what you're looking at, and it's probably more comfortable to go with what you know. Not only that, but as parents, summer camp is unattainable for so many because it's so expensive. It's not cheap, and there's not many, there are lots of options, but the price ranges are not very broad. So
Well, we're gonna change all that, Dana. and
that's
Corinne.
amazing.
We're gonna make it attainable, and we're gonna make it a reality for anybody at the end that wants to go to summer camp next year. We're gonna figure out a way to make it happen.
That's great, because I
amazing.
think when the kids came back, I think that's like what Brad was saying, that's what happened. Is like they came back and explained like, oh my God, it was such a great experience, that I think more kids next year will say, oh, when are we going to sign up for camp? I think that's what we're going to get next year, because they had such an amazing experience and they couldn't stop talking about it. I actually felt bad when it ended. The son, the one that is 9, came down and was like, oh, I wish there were more weeks of summer camp. I really enjoyed it. They made friends. They talked about swimming. They had so many different things that they'd never had in the past. So I think that we would get more responses based on the experiences that these 3 children had. They couldn't stop. It's almost like they changed, because 2 of the kids were very quiet, but then they would come down in the morning waiting for the bus and they couldn't stop talking about it. Oh, we did this yesterday. We went swimming. Oh, we made new friends. I feel so popular now because they're waiting for me to get off the bus. So I think it changed the kids, but I kind of felt sad when it ended. And it's like, okay, so what are we going to do now? Can't wait till next year to go again.
Yeah.
So it was really a great experience for all 3 of them. They really had a great time. They really did.
And that's what it's all about, right? That was the whole idea, to give them an experience that they would not have had otherwise. And Corinne, just so I know, there were 3 kids. They were between 7 and 9, right? 7 years old.
No, one was 5.
Oh, 5.
He was in cup camp.
Oh my goodness. How amazing. So 5 years old, and then the other 2 were
9 and 10.
9 and 10. So what an amazing age to be able to do these things for the first time. It is the best. So
they really had a good time. They couldn't stop talking about, like, they had swimming every day. They had then they would talk about the food. Oh my God, they're like, any food. It's so funny because you hear kids talk about food. Anything they wanted, they would get it, and if it's not there, they would find it and stuff like that. They talk about the friends that they made, the different activities. They had the sport camp. They had video games, all kinds of different things that they really so enjoyed. So it was really great. I just want to say thank you guys so much, because without you guys, it wouldn't have been possible.
Hearing Corinne say that, they made new friends and they were waiting for, the kids to get off the bus to spend the day together.
Mhm.
I think the opportunity to socialize and to build those life skills that you need is something that's really forgotten about when you talk about a camp experience, and being in that social environment and being around it, being in a group of 15 or 20 other kids and having those conflicts, and you want to play this game or you want to play that game, and learning how to compromise and learning how to share and learning how to communicate. Those are things that a lot of us who went to summer camp, our whole lives, you take for granted. So hearing you say that, Corinne, really kind of hits home. It's a key element of the summer camp experience.
Yes. The other thing that I wanted to highlight, just to show you how great of an experience, like the mom was saying, she would have so many issues getting him up for school and but he was down here every morning on time, waiting for the bus.
Bright and early.
Could not wait for the bus to get here. And he went to his grandfather's house for the weekend, called his mom and said, make sure you get me back to the shelter on Sunday night so I could be on the bus to get to camp on Monday morning. Just such a great experience. They had such an amazing time.
Talk about a testimonial, right? And that's so amazing to hear. And I know that's why we wanted to kind of get you all together and talk about it, because this is the end result, is really what makes this so special. And just, Brett, just to kind of continue what you were talking about the socialization, after the last couple of years with COVID, I mean, all of the children have been so isolated and they haven't been able to socialize as much. And so something like this it's priceless, I mean, obviously there's a price to it. And as you kind of mentioned briefly, it wasn't just the tuition for camp. Life's Angels also sponsored their new sneakers and camp t-shirts, and just kind of literally outfitted them for everything that they needed to just jump right in and have the best summer ever. So as Corinne mentioned, of course, this is to say thank you, and to all the donors that made this possible and supporters of yours that made it possible, and for the future planning that we're, brainstorming as we speak right now. This is just, this is awesome. So we just are so grateful for Life's Angels and just the idea, of doing this for the summer. So
Yeah, we definitely, if I may add, like now that we've put this in forward, we'll put the wheels in motion so that we can make it achieve that goal that Brett mentioned, getting the 40 for 40. Let's make that happen, and we'll do everything we can to encourage our sponsors, donors, have a great event so that we can make that happen. Those stories are just amazing. That's unbelievable.
And of course, Corinne can talk more about the shelters. We do run it's one family shelter that we have at the inn, the Edna Moran Inn. But of course, there's many children that come into the soup kitchen with their parents and with their families, that they're coming into the soup kitchen all summer long, and they're not in summer camp or have the opportunity. So, I'm really hoping this 40 for 40 thing. I mean, if we're getting the ball rolling now for next summer, that's the best thing ever. So that is so.
Listen, let's fill it. Let's fill a bus every morning. They can meet at the end. We can load them up, suit them up, load them up, move them out.
Yeah, the experiences and the memories that they're going to be making, and just Corinne, hearing you talk about the kids and the parents is just these are memories that they'll have forever, and it's just really incredible and special to be able to give them these experiences and to continue to do that. So we're just so grateful for the partnership with Life's Angels. Corinne, is there anything else that you feel like you need to share in terms of the kids and the families? I'm
trying to think. In terms of it was such an experience. I think like one of the moms, she was like, I think that next year I'm going to save my money so I can send my children, because they really wanted to go, just because she saw that the difference in her children, because they were so quiet and stuff, and now they're very outgoing, waiting to get on the bus each morning. So I think that it didn't make just a difference in the children's life, but in the parents as well. Because now the parents are already saying, I need to save my money so they can go next year because they had such a great experience.
That's
so I just want to say
amazing.
thank you guys so much. We so appreciate it. In terms of like, we probably would be able to send maybe like 25 kids from here at capacity.
Well, we're more than halfway there.
There we go. And listen, hopefully one day we won't have to send any kid, because the homelessness is a terrible problem, not only in New York but around the world and around the country. So hopefully one day we won't have to send everybody, because ending homelessness is obviously a much bigger priority, but we're happy to do what we can.
That's amazing.
And I would say, look, I mentioned earlier, we didn't have anyone in mind when we said, let's just find and help who we can. But I can't think of anyone more suited than the children that Corinne described. So to talk about going full circle, unbelievable. So we're so proud and happy to team with you guys.
Yeah, and these kids, sort of like they started a trend now. So now that, maybe discomfort or fear of the unknown or whatever the hesitation, whatever made the hesitation for the parents has probably waned a little bit, because they've seen the responses and they've seen the experiences and they've heard what's going on. So as you said, Corinne, for them to say, we're gonna try to do it ourselves next year, they probably won't have to, because of Brad and Brett and Life's Angels and everybody who supports them. So that is really amazing. And Brett, just to hear you say that hopefully we won't have to do it in the future, it reminds me of something that our executive director Jean Kelly says all the time. She says that at the inn, one of the greatest things that we could say to the guests that we serve is, we hope we never see you again, because that means that we've done what we can do, and that and that's the goal, to give them the tools that they need to then become self-sufficient and do these things for themselves. But in the meantime, when for whatever reason they're unable, we have the inn, we have our supporters, we have organizations like Life's Angels to be able to sort of hold us up. And of course, all of the supporters, anybody who might be watching this, who supported the inn, this is what it's all about. So I think that this is the best way to wrap up this summer, to hear these stories about the kids. And since they're so little, I'm sure they're excited to go back next year. And just, on behalf of the inn, our executive director, Jean Kelly, the shelters, Brad, Brett, and everybody at Life's Angels, we just want to give you a very, very strong thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you were able to see, and you were able to see some pictures, you said, right?
Oh, yeah, we saw some of the biggest smiles we've ever seen.
Amazing. Unfortunately, I cannot show those pictures on
We
this
know.
because of our media policy and the privacy policy that we have, but I can imagine just what they look like. So if you imagine beautiful children with big smiles and happy to have a wonderful summer, then, you know, that's basically all that we need to know, right? So it was such a great time talking to you guys today. I'm so excited. I'm excited about next year. Our meeting will set that up as soon as we get off of here. And we're going to do 40 for 40 summer camp next year. That sounds like an incredible idea. Brad, Brett, anything you wanna end with?
We'll do everything we can. Thanks for putting this together. But we're just there are no words. It's a special feeling to be part of this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you, Corinne. Really, to echo Brad, we're really excited to build on our partnership. We're looking, we're actively looking for organizations where we can lend a helping hand and really make a difference. And this feels really good to us as an organization. And we're looking forward to growing the partnership and doing all we can to help set your residents up for not only a great summer, but for success in the future as well.
Yeah, and you've certainly already done that. So, and hopefully the young man that didn't really want to get up for school the last time, maybe he'll pop up this time so that he can tell all his friends about how great summer camp was. So maybe he won't have to have his mom wake him up that first couple of days of school this time. When we follow up, we'll talk about
You'll let us know, right? You'll let us know how the
Definitely.
first week of school went.
Definitely.
Yes.
And I just want to say thank you guys so much on behalf of the families. We're so eternally grateful, because just to see the kids coming home and smiling and the parents saying that they want to do this next year, I just want to say thank you guys so much. We so appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And looking forward to next year.
Yes, so are we.
Definitely. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time out to talk to us today, and we will speak soon.
We will.
All right, thank you guys. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You
And
too.
enjoy the
Bye-bye.
rest of the summer.
Thank
Everybody
you.
have a great day. Thanks so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.